All right. Let's get back to our discussion, people. Yes, let's get back to our discussion. Hey, before I go forward, just to understand, is everyone able to match my pace? No challenges? If you have a difficulty, it's your mistake. I'm not going to go slower than this. Yes, this is the maximum speed I have. No, actually, this is the minimum speed I have, honestly. This is the minimum speed I have. I cannot go anything lower than this. Yes, I can try my level best to speak a little slower, but it'll get boring. So let's not do that as well. Match my speed, people. You need to get that practice also. Yes, you need to get that writing speed. You need to get that walking speed. You need to get that speaking speed also. Yes, yes, great. Now, if you have understood how to create a law, we have also tried to understand what is an act, what is a rules as well. What is an act and what is the rules as well. We're going to go into the income tax part of it. Yes, but before even I get into the income tax part of it, let's also come and try to understand what do you mean by taxes properly. What do you mean by taxes properly? Now, as much as we discussed a little while back, we spoke about the fact that when you have a tax is nothing but a charge on your income or your expenses or other items as the case may be. Yes. Now, when it comes to India and technically anywhere in the world, you have taxes of two types. One is called as direct tax and one is called as great. This is the easier bit. Yes. You have to tell me what is the difference. If you tell me what is the difference. Direct is paid by only individuals. Okay, so there is something called shift of burden, which is not allowed, and here it is shift of burden allowed. Okay, next, proportional. It's called, I think, progressive and regressive. Progressive and regressive. Okay. Levied on incomes. Okay. Levied on only goods. Okay. Anything else? Still by, if it's governed by income tax act, it's direct. Or is it direct, therefore it's governed by income tax act? That's the body. I'm asking you what is a direct tax and what is indirect tax. I'm not asking what is income tax. I'm asking what is direct. Because it is direct tax, it's governed by income tax. It's not that because it's governed by income tax, it's direct tax. Okay. Ish, direct tax. Oh. Indirect tax for each person, like sure. Like isn't that progressive regressive? Yes. Anything else? Yeah, no. Okay, let's break myth one by one. People, first one, shift of. So basically you're telling if direct tax is there, there'll be no shift of burden, but indirect tax there'll be a shift of burden. Yes. How do you define what is shift of burden? What does it mean? You should pay your tax. Someone else cannot pay it, but indirect tax someone else can pay it. Incurred by someone, paid by someone. Give me an example. So imagine an example, there is a manufacturer and there is a distributor. Yes, what is manufacturer doing? Manufacturer is selling goods. Distributor is going to give money. Okay. How will you shift burden? Indirect taxes. How do you shift burden? Okay. So distributor will sell it to retailer. Hey, पहले होलसेलर आता है फिर रिटेलर आता है. हाँ तो मैं तो I don't want a wholesaler in middle. हाँ क्या करना अभी? How is the burden getting shifted? I don't want exam. How are you shifting burden? What do you mean by shifting burden? I don't understand. So manufacturer will raise a invoice to distributor and collect GST. So basically, let's say 100 rupees ka goods, he will charge, let's say 18% GST. So 118 is what he will collect from distributor. So tax of distributor paid by manufacturer. Is that what you mean? Tax of? Oh. One second. Who's going to raise the invoice? Who's going to collect the money? So who's going to pay GST? Two. So who's going to pay the tax to government? वही तो मैं बोला. How is it tax of distributor paid by distributor? It is tax of distributor paid by manufacturer, correct? No. Distributor's tax, he is giving it to manufacturer, manufacturer is paying to government. So tax of distributor paid by, that is what it is. Okay, now this is what the indirect tax is. How do you shift burdens now? So let's say distributor gives it to retailer for 150 and he will charge 27, 18% of 20 this thing. Yes, now what is going to happen? So he will collect 27. He'll collect 27, pay to government. Minus 18, basically 9. Yes. So you are telling me it's a shift of burden basically because it's a shift of burden because. Okay, so basically what is happening is because it is 27 here, distributor will collect a 27 from retailer but will not pay 27 to government. He will pay only 9 to government by claiming a 18 rupees ka credit, which we call as input tax credit, So you are telling me basically what has happened is retailer has now paid 27 rupees in the form of 18 rupees by distributor and in the form of 9 rupees by manufacturer. Sorry, in the form of 9 rupees by distributor and 18 rupees by manufacturer, correct? This is what you call a shift of burden, which happens only in agreed, not agreed. Yes. Okay. I'm giving you the same example, people. Take a same example where I'm coming and saying distributor is going to give money to manufacturer. Yes. Now I'm looking from direct tax perspective. Yes. Now how much is my distributor going to give to manufacturer? 100 rupees. So how much is the income for manufacturer? 100 rupees. So his income is 100 rupees, on which let's assume the tax is the same 18. It's 30, but let's assume 18. Yes. So which means he's going to pay tax of 18 to the government. Tax of paid by. Can he shift burden? I'll ask you a simple question. Now you go to retailer. Retailer is going to give to distributor. How much? 150. Which means for the distributor the income is his income is 50. He got 150. He reduced 100. He paid 50. So he paid tax of. Correct, not correct? Now ask yourself a question. How much did distributor earn? Distributor earned 150, but he paid tax only on 50, which means he shifted his burden of 100 from distributor to manufacturer. How much was he supposed to pay tax on? 150, but he paid tax only on, because he shifted his burden from distributor to manufacturer of 100. How is this different? Tell me what is different here. Okay. Okay. So same logic in GST, no? When the movement happened from manufacturer to distributor to retailer, distributor to retailer, the sale value was not 150. The sale value is only 50. Same thing happened in both. Appa, how did you shift burden in indirect tax and not shift burden in direct tax? I don't understand. How exactly did you come and confirm to me that indirect tax is shifting burden, direct tax is not? Because I am also shifting burden. I was supposed to pay what? Tax on 150, but I'm paying tax only on 50. Same thing, no, in GST. In GST, what was happening? You sold for what? 150. What was your cost? 100. So you paid GST only on Same thing you did. हाँ तो वो भी वही किया ना, मैन्युफैक्चर भी 100 पे कर दिया, तभी तो मैं कम पे कर रहा हूँ। दोनों में वही हुआ ना रे. Tell me what is the difference between both? Are you seeing any difference between both? I am not. What is manufacturer doing there? Paying tax on 100. What is distributor doing there? Paying tax on 50. What is manufacturer doing there in GST? Paying tax on 50. And what is he doing? Paying tax on 100. बात वही है. Have you heard about this concept called as I told you in first class, when I asked what, I don't mean full forms. Yes, get over the BCom model, people. Yes, when someone asks you what, he expects an answer. He doesn't expect a full form. Yes, I'm looking at TDS, people. Yes, now TDS is a concept under income tax. Yes, what is happening is there is a person called A, there is a person called B. A is supposed to make a payment to B, which means it's an income for B. Suppose if A has to make 100 rupees payment to B, A will not make 100 rupees payment to B. Income tax will say deduct TDS, which means you will pay only 90 rupees to B. Balance 10 will go to tax of B paid by same as GST. That is what we did in GST also, no? Sorry? Try again. 18% लगा के देता है, पर वो उसके बाद रिटेलर से वापस ले रहा है डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर. The same thing. No, A is not paying from his pocket. A was supposed to pay 100, but he's paying only 90 and balance 10 is going. Nothing is paying from his pocket. किसकी पॉकेट से? इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स में क्या हुआ? वही सेम हुआ. इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स आल्सो यू पेड 118, 100 प्लस 18 पे किया ना. ए की पॉकेट से थोड़ी ना गया, बी की पॉकेट से गया. Sorry? I don't deny that. My question is, how did you come and confirm me saying there is a shift of burden in indirect tax and not indirect tax? I am seeing burden getting shifted in both the places. I don't see a difference. In indirect tax also you're shifting burden because you have an expense of goods, and in direct tax also you're shifting a burden because you have an expense of payment. दोनों जगह you shifted burdens. Tell me at which point of time did you not shift burden in direct tax? I don't see a reason. Do you see a shift of burden? I do, in both. The only difference is the rate is different in direct tax and rate is different in indirect tax. Otherwise, everything is looking the same only. If you pay 10% in both the cases will look like the same only. I don't see a shift of burden happening here. Yes or no? Yes or no? This is the problem with books. You go, you mug up everything and you come and say, Rahul, this is what the answer is. You never asked yourself the right question. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Ask yourself a simple question. Is there a shift of burden happening in indirect tax? Yes. Is there a shift of burden happening in direct tax? Yes. Apu, is that a difference? Kya? I am telling it's wrong. Did I tell you that is the definition? You only gave me the answer. For marks, it will not come for exam only. People, correct, not correct. Correct, not correct. Yes. Apu, this looks wrong. Can I come and tell this looks wrong? Can I come and tell this looks wrong? Looks wrong to me. If you think it is right, you tell me how. But right now with my example, it looks wrong. It looks correct, not correct. Yes or no? Yes. So I'm closing with this. Yes. It is for everyone. You have a big chapter of TDS itself, 40 pages in my book. You have 40 pages in my book for TDS alone. So it's a big chapter. You have it for syllabus, 8 marks. Yes. Yes, yes. TDS is there for everything. You just have a very, and by the way, this 40 is only inter syllabus. Finals, you have this much big syllabus. Finals, there are 10 more sections of TDS. Everything will happen. Yes, basically TDS is there in both the concepts, people. Yes, the only thing is GST model itself works on TDS logic. Yes, and income tax works on a different logic, but you have TDS concepts to that also. Yes, there's no difference as such. I don't see a shift of burden happening in both. I see a shift of burden happening in both. I don't see that as a difference as such if you come and ask me. Yes or no? Yes, I will agree to the other two. I will agree to that. The second definition comes and says it's progressive and this one is regressive. Yes, basically income tax is coming and telling the more you earn income, the more you pay tax. The more you pay tax. But when it comes to indirect tax, they come and say the low you earn income, the more you pay tax. Progressive means the more income, the more tax. Regressive means despite your income, same tax. Despite your income, same tax. It's basically if the same iPhone is bought by Ambani and the same iPhone is bought by Rahul, we both will pay the same taxes on this. Even though Ambani may be richer, Rahul may not be so much. Yes. So for Ambani and Rahul, progressive will work for direct tax, but nothing will change in indirect taxes. That is what progressive and regressive is, which is what I agree to. And the last one is, this is true. This is true. If you have an income levied tax, this is direct tax. If you have an goods levied tax, it is indirect taxes. For me, if you come and ask me, the last one is the only difference. From my perspective, the last one is the only right difference which can be taken into consideration. Shifting of burden and all is a myth. Yes, it is there in your study materials, which is completely wrong. Just completely wrong. There is absolutely no logic to that shifting of burdens. There is a shift of burden happening in both the models. You just have to look at it differently. Yes or no? Yes. So from your book perspective, shifting of burden is a topic. Yes, but from a practical standpoint, hard reality, it's a wrong understanding. There is only one difference between direct tax and indirect tax. The difference is that if it is a tax levied on income, it is direct tax. If it's a tax levied on goods and services, it is an indirect taxes. It's an indirect taxes. That is what the logic is, as simple as that. Yes, progressive and regressive is not exactly a difference. That's a consequence. Because you're levying tax on income, it's progressive. Because you're levying tax on expenses, it is regressive. It's not technically a difference, it's a consequence. Yes or no? Yes or no? Any background on any doubts on this? No. Now if I have to give you some examples, you're going to tell me whether it is direct or direct tax. Sorry? Wealth tax has been abolished, if you come and ask me right now, but when it was there, yes. No, it's not because you have gold, it's because you have gold worth. That's the difference. I'm not taxing you because you have gold. I'm taxing you because you have the gold worth in your hand, which means I'm taxing you on your property which you have. Which is why it got abolished. Yes, I'm going to give you some examples. People are going to tell me whether it is direct tax or direct taxes. Agreed, not agreed? Yes, service tax. Direct taxes. Property tax. What is property tax? Sorry? The tax on the area which you hold, it's a direct tax. It's a direct tax. You're not doing any goods or services here. Yes, the more property you hold, the more taxes you pay. Municipality tax. Municipality taxes, indirect taxes. Yes, you're paying taxes for using the services like water tax, sewerage tax and all those things. Yes, any kind of professional tax. Professional taxes, direct tax. Professional taxes, direct tax. Professional tax is basically I'm levying a tax for you to do professional services. Government is collecting taxes for you to do professional services. That is a... No, you're not paying the tax for the services you render. You're paying tax because you're a professional. You're paying taxes because you're a professional. It's a state tax. It's a state tax. States come and say that if a professional is working for you, then the professional will have to pay professional tax. The professional will have to pay professional tax. It's a direct tax. Anyone is a professional as per state government. Yes. Problem with state government says everyone is a professional. If you're working for me, you pay tax on it. Simple. Yes. Yes. When it comes to taxes, there is no logic to things. Clear? Yes. You have something called customs duty. Indirect taxes. Yes, customs duty is indirect taxes. Toll taxes. Toll tax is indirect for using the service of the area. For using the service of the area. Excise duty. For manufacturing goods, you're paying taxes. So this is indirect taxes. Yes or no? Yes. Equalization levy. Suna nahi hoga. Try. Take a guess. People. The good thing about your syllabus is that MCQs have no negative markings. So if you don't know the answer, Jai Mata Di. Levy. It's a direct tax. Equalization levy is a direct tax. It is levied under income tax. Yes, we learn it in final. It's not a part of inter. It's not a part of inter syllabus. It's a part of final syllabus. Black money tax. It's a direct tax. For whatever black money you have in your possession, that is what you're collecting taxes on. You have a black money and undisclosed foreign income assets Act 2015. It's a direct tax. It's a direct tax. Yes. What else do we have? Do we have any other taxes? Do you remember? Gift tax. Immobile. I know it's abolished. My question is direct or indirect? It's a direct tax. It's a direct tax. I'm taking tax on you because you got a gift. I'm not asking the person to pay the tax. I'm asking the recipient to pay the tax. So which means for the recipient it's an income, and for him he's paying taxes. So that's a direct taxes. Yes. Don't expect the person paying the money to also pay tax on it. Yes, that doesn't make sense. There is no gift there. Yes or no? Yes. It's the person who's receiving it who's going to pay the tax. So for him it's an income, and therefore it's a direct taxes. Yes or no? Yes. This is what your difference between direct tax and indirect tax, people. Any doubts on this? Good enough to go? Yes. Now Vivek Bhaiya will also teach you this in indirect taxes. When he teaches you, will tell one thing. Pad liya. Aage badho. Yes. Yes, don't waste time there. Yes, you tell him to teach you more syllabus things of the subject. You don't need to ask him to teach the basics. वो मैंने कर लिया तुम्हारे लिए. Clear enough? Yes. He will also come and tell you shifting of burden होता है, नहीं होता है. ठीक है? Yes. When he comes and tells you, you ask the same question. You tell him where the shift of burden is happening. ठीक है? Yes. Now, people, when it comes to direct tax and indirect tax, this is what it is. My subject is falling under the first half of it, which is direct taxes. Vivek Bhaiya is teaching you indirect taxes. That is what the syllabus shift is going to happen. Any doubts on this? No. Now, the subject which I'm going to teach you is called as income tax laws, people. For you to have a laws, you need to first have an act. Under Income Tax Act, the act is called as Income Tax Act 1961. You have Income Tax Act 1961, but my subject is a little more special. Yes, it doesn't just have one act, it has two acts. It has two acts. मर गया कोई पता नहीं क्या हो गया. Yes, Income Tax Act 1961. Along with that, you have two acts, people. For your syllabus, you'll be reading two acts with me. You will be reading something called as Finance Act 2024. You'll be reading Finance Act 20. Came in Feb. (2024). 2024 अच्छा इस साल तुम 12th में देगा. Okay, special. Okay, great. So no, in case you're feeling bad, don't worry. Yes, you have one more act to read, which is called as Finance Act 2024, but you people are a little more special. So you have three acts to read. Three acts to read. You have Finance number 2 Act 2024. Now don't worry, this came after you cleared foundation. It came on 23rd August 2024. It came on 23rd August 2024. So this is also applicable to you. Yes, you people are a little more special. You get three acts to read. You get three acts to read. The background is very simple, people. Now, if I have to clarify this to you, Income Tax Act is the main act in which all the income tax related provisions are there. Yes, but one thing which which Government of India realized is that all amendments which come in income tax impact my budget. It depends. The income tax changes which we make impacts every revenue which I get and every expenses which I make as a Government of India. And therefore, the first decision they made is that they will not make any modifications in Income Tax Act. They will keep the Income Tax Act as it is. They will keep the Income Tax Act as it is, and every year launch a new act called as Finance Act, which means Income Tax Act has not been amended since 1961. Income Tax Act has not been amended since 1961. Every year what amendment comes as a part of Finance Act. Yes, so every year on 1st February the hangama starts in India, because that is the budget day. That is a budget day. No one is interested about what government of India is going to do. Yes, the 2 hours of budget day, the last 15 minutes is what everyone is interested about, because the last 15 minutes launches your finance bill. The last 15 minutes, they launch something called as a finance bill, in which they come and clarify what changes in income tax are we doing. What changes in income tax are we doing? Now, when you talk about a finance budget, people, it does not just talk about income tax, it talks about other things also. But people are more interested about income tax. Yes, so that last 15 minutes is what Nirmala Tai will come and tell you what and all amendments they have made in Income Tax Act. Yes, finance bill will get passed, moved to finance Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, President, and becomes a finance act. Income tax says that whatever changes happen in finance act will be auto assumed into Income Tax Act. Will be auto assumed into Income Tax Act. So here is a fun thing for you. You are not going to read 3 acts with me. You are going to read Income Tax Act 1961, Finance Act 1962, Finance Act 1963, 64, 65, 66, 67, go forward till 2024. So which means you have almost about 80 acts to read along with me. You have almost about 80 acts to read along with me. From 1961 till date, 80 acts are to be read. 80, not much. Yes, not much to be read. The only good thing for you is, as inter-syllabus, the whole budget is not a part of your syllabus. Half of the budget is part of the syllabus. Next half is gone to finals. Next half is gone to finals. Don't worry, by the time you come to finals, 80 will become 22. Yes, another 10 more acts will get added. Yes, so you can take those also into consideration for you. I'm assuming that you don't clear in the first attempt, by the way. If you clear in the first attempt, then you'll have 3 more acts to read. Yes, 25, 26, 27 acts will be also to be part of your syllabus. So you'll have 80, 83, 84, 80, 85 acts to read for you to read. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, that is what the whole scope is. But why are you people a little bit special is because your budget was passed in the election year. Your budget was passed in the election year, and there is a rule in India which comes and says that budgets are passed on 1st February. The problem with that is that on 1st February, the person who's passing the budget is the exiting party. The exiting party. Yes or no? And therefore, it has been made very clear that during the first budget, what gets passed is called as interim budget. What gets passed is called interim budget. On that date, only some amendments can be made. Enough that you can run the country for another 2 months. Enough that you can run the country for another 2 to 3 months. Apart from that, you are not allowed to make any significant changes, because if you make significant changes and tomorrow you lose the elections, the new party will come and change everything off. The new party will come and change everything off. Therefore, it is a mandate that during the election years, you will be only launched one budget called as interim budget. The moment elections get over and the party wins, they will now run a second budget. They'll run a second budget, which is called as the final budget. On that date of final budget gets launched Finance number 2 Act 2024. Finance number 2 Act 2024. The good news for you is, even though you have to read 3 acts, you technically have to read only 2 acts, because Finance Act 2024 may no changes happen. Finance Act 2024 may no changes happen. This time when Nirmala Tai came on the elections, they were like, you know what, we are anyway going to win. We are anyway going to win. So there is no point of giving me benefits. See, every time what will happen during that election year, correctly, the exiting party will always give you better benefits. Yes, like in 2019, they came and said up to 5 lakh rupees, no tax, where earlier it was 2.5 lakhs. Yes, now you go to the market and come and say, if you make me the winner, I will give some more benefits like this. And that's where in 2019, they gave you this benefit. This year, she was like, I know I'm only going to win because I know who the other person is. So therefore, she passed the budget and the budget she came and said, you know what, I will make no changes. What was there last year is the same this year. You have a problem, your problem. I know I'm going to. Therefore, it doesn't matter. So Finance Act 24, 0 amendments. Absolutely 0 amendments. Some 2-3 date and all changes, which all final level syllabus. Yes. So technically for inter-level syllabus, no changes in Finance Act 2024. When Finance number 2 Act came, this time Nirmala Tai went to superlative. She was like, you know what, I won. Now I can do whatever I want. She passed in budget and she came and said, you know, we want to make a simple tax. So whatever was the complex, we'll make it simple. But we'll make it only from the middle of the year. Because now only we're passing the budget. So now for you people, what you need to do, no, from April to August, you need to read old complex budget. From August to March, you have to read new simple budget, which means for your syllabus, you now have to read both the budgets. And this is only for your attempt. Because next year what will happen? dates are gone, so it'll start over again. So that time only be new budgets. The old budgets will not be there. The old budgets will not be there. So Jan also will be doing the same thing as yours. May attempt lender. Everyone will read only the new laws. Yes, you people are a little special. You read both the laws. You read both the laws. You read old law also, new law also, and with dates. With dates, because from this date a new law will start. From this date old law will start. Yes or no? Yes. So you are a little special to the extent that every time I teach a subject to you, I'll have to come and tell you from what date it comes. From what date it comes. For those of my friends who don't remember birthdays, anniversaries and all those things, fun only are going to happen. Yes, because if you don't remember these dates, कुछ नहीं होगा. Yes, yes. So from today start वो गर्लफ्रेंड का बर्थडे, बॉयफ्रेंड का बर्थडे याद करना चालू कर दो. Yes, in case you don't remember that, at least remember this. Yes, वो तो चलो फिर भी हो जाएगा, ये ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. Yes, I'm going to give you almost about 5 different dates, people. 23rd July, 1st October, 1st April, 1st August, and one more date. Yes, these are the dates when multiple changes will happen. Yes, so one date ko this change will happen, one date ko this change will happen, one date ko this change will happen. Yes, so many things will happen. So many things will happen. All are a part of your syllabus and all are a part of your exams. No doubts about it. Yes or no? Yes. So you have a little special opportunity. You have a little special opportunity to go to the world and come and say, I've learned the most simplest complex budget. Yes, yes. The problem with the simple budget is, while it was called simple, it was simply complex. There was nothing simple about it. There was nothing simple about it. When we started reading the budget, we also felt that something is wrong with the budget. Yes, because the budget was made in such a hurry that she did not even realize she's making mistakes in the budget. Right? The budget, when it came around August 2nd or something, we went and we told Nirmala Tai that you have made so many changes. This change is wrong, this change is wrong, this change is wrong. Can you please correct it off? Can you please correct it off? Nirmala Tai said, next year. Let it be. Let it be. You literally have a budget with mistakes in it. With mistakes in it. Yes. When we read the subject, I will come and show you the mistakes. And I'll ask you the same question. Do you think this makes sense? You will say no. I'll be saying yes, because it is income tax. There is always no sense in it. Yes, payment of tax itself has no sense in it, honestly, if you come and ask me, but you're going to do that. You're going to do that. That's the fun about the subject, people. Yes, the fun about the subject is where you can stand and you can come and say, you know what, government itself is making a mistake. Appa, who are we to come and say no to it? Yes or no? Yes, multiple mistakes are there in this budget. I still have 5 mistakes in my hand. Yes, which I spoke to finals. Last month only I completed the final batch, and we discussed about 5 different mistakes which income tax government of India has made in the budget, and they don't care about it. Yes, even now after I think 23rd August, it's almost been about September, October, November end, almost 3 months are over, still they don't care about it. Yes, still they have not made any changes, and they will not make any more changes also. Yes, because Nirmala Tai has come to a point where she's like, you know what, February anyway is going to come. Wait for another 3 months, you'll get the new change itself. Yes, because by the way, I don't know how many of you are aware about it. Recently, one big news is going on in the market that they're planning to abolish direct tax. Yes, the big amendment which Nirmala Tai came and said in this finance budget is that we feel the tax is very complex. We itself are not able to understand it anymore. Yes, and therefore we are now creating a committee. The committee will be given an responsibility to change the whole act, delete the act and start over again. Delete the act and start over again, which means last we had in 1961. Now we'll have a new act right now. Yes, a proposal has come in to make something called Direct Tax Code 2025. A proposal has come to make Direct Tax Code 2025, where the proposal is that everything which was there earlier will be removed and we'll start over again. We'll start over again. We'll look at the new India. We'll look at the new India and we'll start creating new laws. Yes, beautiful opportunity next year. When you enter articleship, must opportunity for you, because you're going to learn everything newly. You're going to learn everything newly. When you enter articleship, you will come and start articleship and you will come and say, Rahul, whatever I learned is all waste. That was only required for me to pass exam. Yes, after this I have to start over again. So you have to start over and read the whole thing once again for your articleship. Yes, that is the kind of fun you're going to do. Yes, people, reading a law is a skill. Yes or no? Reading a law is a skill. By the way, this is also a warning sign to you that if you don't clear in these 2 attempts, you will anyway be starting over again. Yes, the only problem is in articleship you will be starting over again and getting money for it. Here nothing will come, you will only pay money for it. Yes or no? Yes. So try your level best to clear it by Jan 26. Jan 26 तक clear करने की कोशिश करो. If you can write in September 25, great. Pass in September 25, best. In case it doesn't happen, Jan 26 is also a cutoff. If you clear by Jan 26, great. If you don't clear by Jan 26, don't worry, I'll have books ready for you. Yes, you'll have to come back to me and you'll have to anyway get new books for it. Yes, you'll have to get a new books for your next May 26 and your September 26. I don't want to do that, I've told you earlier also, right? So don't come to that position, people. Subject is going to change completely. I itself have to restart all my reading. Yes, all this logics and everything which I taught you right now, I have to change over everything and start over again. Yes, so it's a pain for me also, it's a pain for you also. Let me at least get money out of the pain. Correct? Yes, yes. Obviously, no, people, when you're coming back, you'll come for free, no. Loss for me only then. Yes, so don't. I'm very long-sighted. Very long-sighted I am. Yes, yes. Please try to clear it by these 2 attempts. It's important for you also. It's important for you also. I know this budget is going to be a little complex, but I'll try my level best to simplify it so that you understand it better. Yes, we'll also try to capture all those mistakes which ICA has done, which income tax has done, so that we are aware that if ICA asks these questions, how do you answer the questions? Yes, that is also something which we'll be doing as a part of the syllabus. But right now, this is what is going to happen, people. Yes, be mindful about the fact that for your syllabus, no changes are happening in Income Tax Act 1961. All changes are happening in Finance Act 2024. Yes, now just to give you a hint, all the Finance Act amendments of 2024 are extremely important for your exams. Yes, ICA loves to keep testing you on the newer things, because next year it will become old and next year new things will come, right? So all the new things are tested more, and so therefore whatever amendments you have will be the topmost priority for your exams. Yes, to make it easier for you to understand the whole thing, all these amendments have been separately highlighted in the book, right? Where in my book, I don't know if I've showed it to you earlier, in the book we have color codes. Yes, we have not just put colors, we have put coding in the colors also. Yes, where the whole text will be in black, the headings will be in purple, the subheadings will be in blue. You will have amendments given specifically in green. Yes, so all the green color items which you see in your book will be your amendments. These are the ones which you will pay special attention to. Yes, and apart from that, just because you're lazy, I've also put reds. Basically, if there is a line of 5 lines, we would have put 2 words in red. If you read the 2 words, you'll understand the 5 lines, right? So that is also done. Apart from that, you have brought in highlighters, pencil scale and all. That also we'll do together. That is what the book has been designed in such a way, people. Basically, what you will do in class, everything is taken care of for you. Yes or no? Yes. The book is suspense for you. You'll get it next week. Yes. Abhi ke liye not important. Clear enough? Good to go? Yes. Great. Now that you have understood what is direct tax and indirect tax, now let's get to my subject. We're moving into something called as Income Tax Act 1961. Income Tax Act 1961. Yes, every time you start an act, people, the first section will talk about. Very good. The first act will talk about title, extent and commencement. Yes. Now, if I have to show it to you from my book, let me see if I have it. I think I showed it to you that day, right? Okay, perfect. I have it. People, these are the color codings which I spoke about. Yes, you'll get it when you get it. Hey, these are all the chapters which you have for syllabus. There are 64 in finals. If you feel your life is bad, there is something else pending for you. Yes, don't worry about it. There's a lot. You have a step process to go. Yes, when you play games, you have a higher level of difficulty, right? You're in the mid level. You have things to do. In my book, yeah, TDS should be the highest. So there are 2 lengthier chapters in my book, PGBP and TDS. So that is what is covering almost about 20-30 pages of your books. You have a PGBP itself for about 500 pages in your ICA study material. Profits and gains of business or profession. You don't ask questions you don't know the answer to. Yes, we're going to read section number 1, people. I am saying Income Tax Act 1961. 3 things to be read. What is title, extent and commencement? Title, you know, it is Income Tax Act 1961. Extent, people says extends to the whole of India. Now, like I told you earlier, it was having including Jammu and Kashmir. Now it does not. Then contains section 1 to section 298 along with schedules 1 to schedule 14. Not important for exam, but just in case you're thinking, Rahul, section 1 to section 298, meaning there are 298 sections, correct? No? There are almost about 700 sections. In income tax. Rahul, how? Very simple, people. When Income Tax Act 1961 was created, it was 1 to 298. Every year when an amendment happens, they introduce a section. Now obviously they cannot say 1 to 298 ke baad 299, because what will happen? You'll have to put it in the same chapter. So what happens? Comedy starts. You start with section 194. This is your tedious section. Section 194, your tedious section. Then they introduce one more tedious. So therefore they called it 194A. They introduced one more section called 194B. Then it went C, D, DA, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. As we stand right now, T is the amendment of the current year. Income tax has come to an understanding. Nirmala Thai has come to an understanding that every year we'll introduce one tedious section. So every year one letter will get added. Right now, this year it is T. Last year it was Q and R. Yes, so one letter will get added. At least one or two will get added. Yes. In case you're thinking this is what it is not. B ke andar there is something called 194 BB. Then 194 BBA. BBB. Yeah, 194 BBB. When it comes to L, you have L ke baad L, LA, LB, LC, LDC, LF. चलता ही जा रहा है. Yes, this is how sections are created, people. When you want to create a new section where you don't have another space, you create alphabets to it. And this is what you'll see in every chapter, people. Yes, when you go to PGBP and all, you have section 40, 44, 44A, 44AA, 44AB, 44AC, 44BB, BBB, BBC, BD, F. Yes, and then 44DC, 44DCA, 44DF, 44DES, something and all will come. Yes, chalta hi ja raha hai. Yes, that is how sections get introduced, people. Yes, so you almost have around 700 to 800 sections in your income tax. On the face of the number, it is 298. That's all myth. Yes or no? Yes. But yes, you have 14 schedules, no further schedules. You have 14 schedules. None of this is there for exam. So you don't need to worry about that. Yes. Next, people. It says, all amendments made in Income Tax Act are made by Finance Act and other legislations like Taxation Laws Amendment Act passed by the Parliament. Like I said, if you have any interim budgets, final budgets and all, then those things also get into subsume. You will not get an Income Tax Act modification. You will get a Finance Act modification which gets assumed into Income Tax Act. Yes or no? Yes. So we have learned what is the title. We have learned what is the extent. Last question, what is the people? Commencement should be 1st April 1961. It says 1st April 1962. It says 1st April 1962. Read, no? It says Income Tax Rules 1962. People, have a question. You know Companies Act 2000, Companies Rules 2013. Yes, which means the day when the act gets launched, rules also get launched. Income tax started in 19. Rules got started in 19. Which means 1 year there were no rules. No. People, you get the question? Yes. Act is in 1961. Rules is 1962, which means 1 year there was no rules. 1 year everyone is doing whatever they want. Correct? No. Okay. Just to give you a hint, people, Income Tax Act 1961 is commencing with effect from 1st April 1962. It's coming from 1962. Income Tax Act says the act will be in force from 1st April 1962. Which means you should ask yourself a question, Rahul, why is it Income Tax Act 1961? It should be 1960. 1 year? Huh? Hey, any income tax gets launched from 1st April. I'll give you a hint. Budget that time was passed somewhere in March. That time it was done in March. Yes. So March 1961 they passed a bill, made it into act. with effect from 1st April 1962. 13 months later. 13 months later. Looks like a mistake. Looks like a mistake. Or is it forcefully done? Forcefully done? Why? Yeah? People, they should have written if they have taken 1st April 1962, they should have written income tax act 1962 also. Or they should have written income tax 1961 and 1st April 1961. There is a mismatch now. There is a mismatch now. Makes no sense. Which means for one full year, nothing was happening. Correct? 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 No. Why? People, you see a mistake. See a mistake. Keep the suspense. Keep the suspense. Next class. Next class, I'll tell you why it is 62, but it is showing 61. Next class. Next class. Yes or no? Yes. Hey, quick question, just in case as a hint. Finance Act 20 with effect from 1st April 2025. I'm telling Finance Act 24 itself. February budget. The February budget of 1st February 24 got passed on 1st March 24, but is effect from 1st April 25. So what? So what? Why will it be complicated? कुछ नहीं है correct, correct. Yes, there is a mismatch, people. Yes, Finance Act 24 is coming from 1st April 25. Now why 25, why not 24, and all those questions next class. Yes, I'm not giving the answer today. Definitely not giving the answer today. Right now we're going with this. Any doubts till here? Good enough with section 1? Perfectly making sense? Sure about it? Shall I ask a question? What is India? India is my country. What is India? You didn't understand my question, right? Okay. Case study. Yes, I'm giving you a case study, people. You're going to look at the case study and tell me whether it should apply to India or not apply to. Simple, straightforward question. Yes, imagine a case where what is happening is today, after I complete the class, I'm walking on the road. When I was going on the road, suddenly what happened is I saw something shining. I went and I scratched it. I found it is gold. My luck. So I picked up the gold and I have kept it with myself. The moment I was picking up the gold, someone else put my hand like this. He caught my hand. I turned and I checked income tax department. Income tax department says, you found gold. This is your income. Therefore I want tax on this. I said, sir, gold found on India. Taxable, not taxable? Taxable. No doubts. Okay, great. Yes, I paid my tax. Now I've taken the gold and I have gone home. This much big gold I found. So what I did is I went and I cashed it. I've already paid my tax, so therefore there's no problem. I cashed it, and now I realize, you know what, I have so much cash. What will I do sitting in Chennai? No point sitting in Chennai. Let's go global. So what I did now, I took a cruise. Yes. Now let's assume this is the bottom part of India. Yes. Some random design. I am here at Chennai. I took a cruise. And I started cruising from here. Suddenly what happened is, here my ship sank. Yes, and like the movies and everything you would have seen, I found an island. तुम्हारे अलग desperation चल रहे हैं. I found an island. Yes, so some random place here I found an island. Luckily, what happened is when I was drowning, I was very selfish, and therefore I was carrying the briefcase with me, the briefcase with money, the briefcase with money. So I kept all the briefcase with me tight in my hand. Yes. So when I found the island, also I had the briefcase in my hand. I had the briefcase in my hand. Now my luck is so nice that this island is a deserted island. No one else is there, and I have money. So I decided to make this my island. I call it Rahul land now. I call it Rahul land. Yes. Now because I've called it Rahul land, I want to create my house and everything. So what I did, I came here and I ringed up Chennai. And called builders. हाँ वो सब था. Network भी मिलता है. Jio का network सब जगह मिलेगा. Yes. So I called up people from Chennai. And asked them, bring raw materials to my island. For you to build my house. Yes. So they brought raw materials from Chennai to my island, and they're keeping it on the island. I'm going to give money to the builder in the island. Yes or no? The moment I was giving the money, someone snatched my hand. I checked at him and it was income tax department. Yes, income tax department snatched my money, and he came and said, no pa, don't give him full money. This is his income, and therefore he has to pay tax. I'm like, sir, I am not in India. I'm in my land. This is not India. Therefore, no tax here. I'm not paying the tax. Question, correct, not correct? Sorry? How do you know? That is what my question is. How do you know? क्या दूर क्या होता है? 12 नॉटिकल माइल्स तक इंडिया होता है. कहाँ लिखा है? बुक में लिखा है. ट्वेल्व नॉटिकल माइल्स तक इंडिया होता है. ये तुम सोच रहे हो. Assuming mine is in 10 nautical miles. Even if I call it Rahul land. For India's definition, hey, general clauses come and define words, not country. India? Okay, okay, I don't know the answer. Yes, now builder transaction over. Now what happened is when I was living in my land, I was enjoying it. I was walking around. क्या? Enjoyment अकेले ही होती है. वहां पे फिर झगड़ा ज्यादा होता है. Enjoyment happens alone. Fights happen there. So yeah, I was happy. In my own life. Yes, and I have money. So yeah. Yes, so I am traveling on the land, people. I'm traveling on the land, walking around. Suddenly what happened? One of the days I moved into the forest. And when I was going through the forest, again I saw a treasure chest. Some luck I have. Yes. So I opened the treasure chest. There is jewelry everywhere. Yes. Now you have already commented on my builder. So I am assuming this is also taxable, but that's not the problem. Yes. Now that I have so much money, I had my gold also, I have jewelry also. I decided, you know what? I don't want to live on the land. So I bought a submarine. From the land, I dived down. And I've gone to the depths of the earth. And here I have now created Atlantis. You know what is Atlantis? The lost city of the world. So I created a Atlantis here. Now I've got all the scientific equipments and everything, and I'm creating my own country underwater. Yes or no? I'm running my life there peacefully. One of the days what happened is, obviously you need oxygen, you need food and everything. So I called people from India to bring food to my country, which is underwater. The moment they came with the submarine and they came to my country, suddenly what happened? Inside the submarine there was one other person sitting. आदमी कहीं भी आ जाता है, पता नहीं, घुसने की आदत है कहीं पे भी. Yes. So he also came along with the submarine. And he wanted to see my land. He wanted to see my land. When I was sitting on the land, the persons were delivering the food. This person said, no, don't deliver the food because you have to first pay tax. You have to first pay tax. I said, sir, I am not in India. I am not on the land of India. I am underwater. Therefore, this is not. And therefore, taxes. Sorry? The supplier is doing transaction where? In India or outside India? That's the question. He's earning income from a underwater area. Has to pay because so what? Yeah, but he's only liable to pay taxes for whatever he earns from India. Did he earn it in India? Where did he earn it? I don't know. He earned it underwater. You have to tell me whether it's India or not. Citizenships have no criteria. So spending is a criteria. Okay, so if Elon Musk one day he's living in US, running all Tesla and everything there in US. One of the days we call him to India. Modi calls him to India for a guest visit. Yes, when he comes down to India, he's spending his money. He's giving cash to every one of you. So income tax department will go to Elon Musk and come and say, because you earned money in US, you spent it in India, you have to pay tax in India. किसको बुला रहे? Announce करके जाना. Yes. So understand, if you come and tell me that Elon Musk is sitting there, earned money from crores and crores in Tesla, because he's coming and spending in India, is taxable in India, correct? Huh? So if any tourist who comes down to India will pay all income taxes in India. Receiving what? Receiving what? Receiving money from India. You forget, I want Elon Musk tax. He's telling if you spend in India, then you're taxable in India. No. So people, I am underwater. And the person has earned money from underwater. Question to you, India, not India? Ten nautical miles, but underwater. India? Okay, great. I don't know the answer. Yes. Now I am sitting there in my land, underland. नहीं, मर्डर बाहर करोगे तो यहाँ थोड़ी ना टैक्स भरोगे. Let's not get there. Yes. Okay. Question next, people. I am underwater in my building. Now this is like Avengers movie. Yes. So what happens is submarine comes to my place. Unfortunately, what happened with the person who delivered my product along with the assessing officer, income tax department, there was also a terrorist there. So he came and he kidnapped me. Along with my jewelry and everything. Yes. So he came, he kidnapped me and he took me back to India. But the problem is it's a terrorist. So he do not live on the land of India. So what happened is in Visakhapatnam, somewhere here, under cave, he has created a house inside the land. Yes, so he's created a cave and in the cave he's living. So he kidnapped me and he is keeping my property there. Yes or no? Yes. Now this person went and called my teams and came and said, I have kidnapped Rahul. If you want him alive, you have to pay me $1 billion. You have to pay him $1 billion. Now my team is like, whatever is left, let's give that off. No problem. Yes. So my team came back to Visakhapatnam, went inside the cave, gave him $1 billion to release me. The moment they were giving the money, income tax department stood up and came and said, no, this is illegal, but it is tax. Therefore you have to pay income tax. Now I am there as a CA, so I know my laws. I went to the terrorist and I said, no, don't pay. Wait, I'll talk to him. I will talk to him. So I went and I spoke to the income tax department. I said, sir, no, sir, understand, I am not on the land of India. I am underground. I am underground, which is not India. Which is not India. Therefore, terrorist is not liable to pay tax. He is exempt from tax. He is exempt from tax because he is not earning income in India. He is earning income under India. He is earning income. India. Sure. Okay, I don't know. Yes. Now, what is happening is because the whole kidnapping scene and everything is over, I have been taken back. I've been taken back. So they ordered a private jet for me. The private jet is going to take me from Visakhapatnam to my Rahul land. Visakhapatnam to my Rahul land. Yes. So we take off from Visakhapatnam. We are on the air. We are on the air. Yes. Now, in the middle of the air, what happened is I went and I told that I am feeling thirsty. I'm feeling thirsty. So the jet air hostess came to me and she ordered me some drinks. Yes. Now you assume what drink you want. Yes. So she gave me some drinks. She gave me some drinks. I said, okay, I'm very happy with you because you're serving me so nice. Here is a gift for you. Yes. Small appreciation from my side. Small appreciation from my side. The moment I was giving the money, suddenly I heard a news. Someone is trying to enter the plane. Yes. When I open the gate of the plane, a person jumps inside. Income tax department and comes and says, don't give money to air hostess. This is taxable because it's income. Because it's income. I am the same CA. So I went and said, sir, I am not in India. I am above India. Yes. दुनिया की मोह माया से ऊपर चला गया हूं मैं. I am flying above. I am flying above. This is not. Therefore, no tax. Therefore, no tax. Indirect. Hey, this is my jet only. Champagne was free for me. I am giving her gift. वही तो tax है क्या नहीं? This is not India. No, this is above India. My private jet, there's no origin. Rahul land. तुम राहुल एंड इंडिया बोले. सॉरी. People India, not India. I thought you knew section 1, you knew everything about section 1, you know everything. You only told me you understood everything. You never understood anything, is it? People, you see the problem. See the problem. I told you when I started the fruit act, every word you give there has to have a meaning. One small mistake from your side, everything can go south. Everything can go south. One of the simpler words which you forgot to define is India. One of the simpler words which you forgot to define is India. Yes or no? Yes. India also needs to be defined under every act. Under every act. Income tax has also taken the liberty to define India under section 2. Under section 2. Yes or no? Yes. Section 225A of Income Tax Act comes and defines what is India. Comes and defines what is India. Yes or no? Yes. If I have to show you the definition, people, let's look at the definition and then try to understand whatever we discussed is coming as part of India or not part of India. India means, people, when you use the word means, it means meaning anything apart from this cannot be called as. Why, people? Better to call it inclusive, no? Should have done inclusive, no? Why did you do means? Why did you do means? We should have done inclusive. Would have been easier, no? Why? People, the problem is this is a country. This is a country. The moment you start using the word includes, any Tom, Dick and Harry can come and say US is also part of, because it's an inclusive definition. Call everything includes. Call everything includes. Yes or no? Yes. Therefore they said no. No. I will define what is India as a means definition, so that I can tell the other countries that this is my scope, that is not my scope, that is not my scope. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. So India says India means the territory of India. India means the territory of India. You will come and ask, Rahul, what is territory of India? Defined under Constitution of India. Defined under the Constitution of India. It calls about all the states and union territories. So whatever Constitution of India approves as part of India is called India. It's called India. But it also now includes something called as territorial waters of India. Any kind of seabed and soil underlying such territorial waters. People, when you say territorial waters, you mean 12 nautical miles. It has been defined in every country that to the extent of 12 nautical miles from the landmass, that area will be called part of the main country. That will be called as a part of main country. So for India also, up to 12 nautical miles, whatever area is there is part of India. In this area, you can do whatever you want. It will be assumed as you're doing it in. Also notice it says seabed and subsoil underlying such waters, which means my Atlantis now taxable. Yes or no? Yes. Next, it also covers into scope continental shelf and exclusive economic zone, which means period from 13 nautical miles to 200 nautical miles. Now income tax has told between 13 to 200 is also called as India. But more than that, read the English. What does the English say? It is exclusive, meaning no idea. Break English. 3 words are there. Forget zone. Zone means area. Exclusive means a place where you can do something. Only you can do something. Economic means profit and sale related transactions. In simple words, people, exclusive economic zone is the area where you can only do trading activities. Is the only place where you can do trading activities. Income tax is told between 13 nautical miles to 200 nautical miles. If you do any tradings, I will assume that also to be part of India. Also notice carefully, because I'm using the word exclusive economic zone, it means this area is only for the purpose of trading. This is not the place where you can stay or reside. During this area, you are not permitted to stay or reside. If you do that, then it is technically outside India, because you are only permitted to stay up to 12 nautical miles, which is the territorial waters of India. Yes. So between 13 to 200 nautical miles, you can only trade. You cannot do anything else. Yes. Technically, from India's perspective, beyond 12 nautical miles, it's called international waters. It is called as international waters. You are not permitted to walk there. Without a valid visa. You would have seen these movies and all, the Chennai Express and all those things. Yes, you move from the little place outside India, you are in international waters. They'll catch hold of you and they'll put you in jail as if you are a spy agent of another country. Terrorists and all do not walk on waters and come. Yes, so you have spy agents and all, they'll take you as a spy agent of the other country and they'll put you in jail directly. Yes, beyond 12 nautical miles, you're not supposed to reside. You're not supposed to go there also, unless and until you have a proof of trade. Makes sense. Yes. Next, people, any other specified maritime zone and airspace above its territory and territorial waters, which means now my underground is also covered, my air is also covered. Which means in my example, all the 5 scenarios are part of India. Makes sense? Yeah. This area is called as continental shelf for exclusive economic zone. वो पूरा area 13 to 200 nautical miles is called that area. वो area का नाम है. Yes. Any doubts? Makes sense? Sure. Last question. I am sitting in my Rahul land. And because I've got abducted and everything, I've become a big celebrity now. Yes. And therefore, Elon Musk comes to me in my land and comes and says, "Dear Rahul, I think this world is not safe for you. I'm planning to go to Mars. Why don't you join me? Somehow I also have money. I am also interested." I'm like, let's go. We build a spaceship on my land. And from the land we go straight up. We go straight up. We have crossed all the atmosphere, stratosphere, troposphere, some sphere and all. We have crossed everything. Yes, the all area started to turn black. The areas have started to turn black, and Elon Musk comes to me and comes and says, Rahul, I'm feeling a little thirsty. I'm feeling a little thirsty. Can you fetch me some water? Can you fetch me some water? Me, Marwadi Buddhi. Yes, I went to him and came and said, yes, here is the water. The moment he drank the water, I said, $5. I said, $5. This is my spaceship and my water. I am selling you the water. Therefore, $5. Therefore, $5. The moment I use the word $5, I see someone with a spacesuit is flowing there. Yes, he knocks on my door and he comes and says, give me money. Give me money because I want tax. You have earned money from Elon Musk in India. Therefore, I want tax on this. Therefore, I'm like, sir, gone. No airspace only. Air itself not there. No air only here. What space? There is only space, no air. There is only space, no air. This is not India. This is not. He's like, no, Rahul. I also came from there only. I've come directly. So I've come exactly from India only. Yes. If you fall from here, you directly fall in India only. Which means it's a part of Constitution of India. This is the definition. Constitution of India's definition is this definition I'm saying. This is the definition. Keeping this definition in mind, tell me, are you covered, not covered? Covered, not covered? Covered, not covered? Hey, space is written. Covered, not covered? Not covered. See, that's the power of means definition. That's the power of means definition. What is given here is what is India. What is given here is what is India. Anything beyond this does not form part of India. Although there is space, there is no air. There is no air. We have already reached the top. We have already reached the top, and therefore no more India here. No more India here. When it is not an India, there is no tax to be collected. There is no tax to be collected. Makes sense? Makes sense. You see how complicated law can become? Your mistake. If you don't ask the right questions, you don't get the right answers. What about this border or this border? How do you earn between? This is how you'll stand. The moment you cross this border, you'll be shot, first of all. Just that's what I'm saying. The moment you cross the border, you're shot. If part of you is in India, then I would assume you are in India. Obviously, taxable. If you're in India, then you're taxable. Full tax. How do you decide how much part of your body is in India? Part of is in India, everything is taxable. So these will be very hypothetical scenarios. Before tax, I will have to first save my life. If I'm alive, then I'll think about taxes probably. Yes. Maybe assessing officer will feel sympathetic about me and he'll come and say, beta, you have saved your life, no tax for you. Maybe. Sorry? Clear? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? This is your section number 1, people, which talks about your Income Tax Act, which talks about Income Tax Act, where you now understood what is somehow. Yes or no? Yes or no? Good to go forward, people. Good to go forward. Yes. Things are going to go a little smaller than this. Yes, it's going to go a little more easier now. We have now completed what is section number 1. Section number 2, I don't have to talk to you. Section number 2, I don't have to talk to you because that talks about definitions. And I've already told you, we cannot define definitions. There are almost about 300, 400 definitions. If I come and start defining definitions, it will become difficult. Yes. What we'll rather do is every time we do a topic, if you need to understand something, I will go back to the definition. Otherwise, I'm not discussing with you right now. I'm not discussing it with you right now. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Done with section number 2. Section 3. In income tax, section 3 is not your charging section. In income tax, section 3 is not your charging section. Unlike other acts, section 3 would normally be your charging section. In income tax, section 4 is your charging section. Section 4 is a charging section which comes and talks about why income tax. Which comes and talks about why income tax. Yes or no? Yes. We're going to do a simple thing, people. We're going to read the section number 4, the 2 lines. The 2 lines. You're going to look at the 2 lines. You're going to tell me which one you did not understand. For the ones you ask me, I will explain. For the ones you don't ask me, I will assume you understood. I'll assume you understood. When I ask question, that time we'll see the answer. Okay. Okay. So I'm giving you the open liberty, people, to come and ask whatever you want to. To come and ask whatever you want to. Let's see how much CA you are. Let's see how much of a CA you are. Yes, Anna? Yes, sir. Yes. Section number 4, people. Section number 4. Yes. Section number 4. Yes. Heading says charge of income tax. Heading says charge of income tax. It says income tax shall be charged on the total income which is earned by a person during the previous year at the rates in force and shall be accessible in the assessment year. Take a second more. Take a second more. Read it once again. Done? Yes. What and all should I help you with? I cannot teach you what is shall and be and all, people. Give me 1 sec. Yes. What and all should I highlight for you, people? Huh? Huh? You want to know what is and? Total income. Okay. Earned मतलब कमाना. मैं बता रहा हूँ earned मतलब कमाना. हो गया. Accessible. Assessment year. Rates in force. Previous year. Done? Sure? No other questions? I'm not going to answer anything else. I'm giving very open declaration. You want to know what is person also? Okay. What do you want to know in charge? You want to know what is tax on income is income tax. Sorry? We have already discussed what is tax. I told you I'm not going to teach you what is income. So therefore income tax. Done? No issues here? This is done? Yes, okay. Let me answer small things quickly. What is rates in force? Next chapter. Rates in force is whatever rate you have in Income Tax Act, which we'll discuss in the next chapter. So matter khatam. Yes, wo ho gaya. Wo ho gaya. I think someone has asked me for person. Let's look about person definition, people. Yes. Question to you is very simple. When you want to pay income tax, who and all pays income tax in India? Individuals, companies. Artificial? What is artificial persons? Companies. All the family business. HUF. Okay, very good. So individuals, HUF, companies, partnerships, business firms, temples. Temples also pay tax. But that's not a business. It's not allegedly a business. It's not allegedly a business. They are supposed to be doing good for you. Again, I'm clarifying, supposed to be. Trusts. Okay. Who else? Okay, I'm going to repeat my question. What do you mean by person? Entity above 18. Company without age. So natural person above 18, artificial person without age. So child do not pay tax. Child does not pay income tax. Sure. That's true. But assuming I'm a child and I'm earning incomes, am I supposed to pay tax, not pay tax? मतलब मैं जो भी कमाऊं चलेगा. So as a minor, whatever I earn, no tax on it. Free profits. Free profits. Sure. So if my father is running a business, but he comes and says, I am not the owner of the business, my child is the owner of the business, I'm only managing. ठीक है? कौन मना करे? It's sole proprietorship. Anyone can do. घर की दुकान कोई भी चलता है. कौन मना किया? कौन मना किया? Have you not seen this Tarak Mehta and all that Tapu will go and sit in the Jetalal's office? So what if you purchase the Zero the app and you start trading in him? You have a minor bank account also. You can get a PAN card for that also. Hey, for those people who have the myth saying that PAN card can only be given after 18, that's a myth. Minors can have PAN cards. क्यों? एज तो तुम ही डाल रहे हो. Okay, let's put it this way. You go to this Kaun Banega Crorepati and all. Yes, where there is this KBC Junior and all. Yes, where the child goes and the Amitabh Bachchan will come and say you have earned 1,60,000 points. Whatever money you earn KBC, taxable, not taxable. In the hands of? In the hands of? किसने बोला? पैसे एफडी में जा रहे हैं. तुम्हारे पास भी रहेंगे. They tell that they'll put it in FD and you can recover the FD after 18. Does not mean that it's not in your hands. The FD is in your name only. The moment you got the money, it's taxable. उस समय काट लेंगे. TDS. What is person people? I'm going to give you examples. You tell me whether the person is taxable or not taxable. Yes. Men, women, child, minor child. तुम अपने माँ के बच्चे हैं लेकिन बड़े हो गए. Minor child, taxable. Hey, you take your dog for this. You take this dog for your dog show and forgot this thing. The beauty shows of dogs and all will happen, no? Where the dog will be running around everything and will be jumping from places and all. So your dog won the show. Your dog won the show. They've given some 1 year's free lifetime supply of dog food. That's an income for. Dog is a person, not a person. Dog is a person, not a person. So whatever dog earns is exempt. Correct. 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 People that Hindi movie entertainment. Yes, Hindi movie entertainment. I will. The owner of the property decided that after he dies, the property will go to dog. Yes. Now dog is the owner of the property, and someone decided to rent the property. So dog is earning rent. Dog will pay tax. Dog cannot. Why? You have seen this contracts and all know where nowadays they will make the ये कुत्ता मेरे बेटे जैसा है तो वो they will take this his palm everything he'll put it on ink and they will. When nowadays they buy new car and all, dog will first be the one who will be putting a stamp on it. इंडिया में ज्यादा हो रहा है आजकल. Yes, everyone has become cute too, sweet too. People, dog, person, not person. Not person. So no tax for it. No tax for it. Okay. Endiran movie, robot. Yes, Endiran has just now got the red chip and has decided to kill everyone and everything and has built a new house for himself. Selling things, buying things, making crores and crores of money. Crores and crores of money. Person. Yes. Foundation issues, nothing else. Let's clear foundation. Robot. Okay. Not a person. Sure. Okay. Five of us decide that C and all is okay. कुछ नहीं आ रहा उसमें से. So we decide that we'll go outside and we'll open a lemonade stand. Lemonade stand. Yes. Yes. Juice पिला दो. Yes. मौसम्बी का. प्यास लगी है मुझे. मूड खराब है. Yes. So we open a lemonade stand. It is decided that whatever money comes from the lemonade, 5 of us will share 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. 5 of us will share 20, 20, 20 and 20. Question. Taxable in whose hands? Who earned the money? Did all 5 people earn individually or they earned it together? So it should be taxable together. So it means that together is an artificial person. That together is an artificial person. So that 5 people coming together and doing business, person, not person. This is not so. 5 people coming together and just opening lemonade stand. Without any. Obviously. Lemonade के लिए क्या registration चाहिए तुम्हें? So then basically tomorrow if I decide that if I run a business alone then it will be taxable. So I'll call 2 more people and come and say let's do it together, no tax. So if I share the profit from the lemonade to us then it is taxable. If the lemonade does not give me so whatever I decided is that whatever profits comes from lemonade we'll reinvest. We'll not take it. We keep reinvesting. Taxable, not taxable. पर्सन में अटक गए 6 और डेफिनेशन है. पीपल पर्सन क्या करें? डिफाइन कर दे. वही तो डिफाइन कर दे. People, it's very simple. When you don't know the answer, it's always defined. It's always defined. So let's look at the definition, people. person, person includes meaning. I can take others also. I can take others also if they're relatable. If they're relatable. First person. People, individual means. Any natural persons. Yes or no? Yes. This will cover men, women, others, and children, and people, dogs, dogs, covered, not covered, robots, covered, not covered, not covered. This is what the definition is. This is what the definition is. It's very simple, people. Individual is not defined technically, but it's told that individual should be a person having sixth sense. Having a sixth sense. Dogs do not have a sixth sense. While you may call it in Instagram saying men's have become dogs, dogs have become men's. Those are all stories. Those are all stories. Those are all stories. At the end of the day, dogs are not individuals. This then brings the question, people, the dog food and all which he earned because of the show, is it taxable? Not taxable? It is taxable. It is taxable. The only problem is it is not taxable in the name of the dog. It is taxable in the name of the owner. Because at the end of the day, while the dog may have done the stunts, the person who trained him is which means the guardian takes the responsibility of the tax. The guardians take the responsibility of the tax, and therefore the guardian will be liable to pay your taxes. Yes, this logic fairly applies to minors also. This logic fairly applies to minor also. When in case of minors, minors are also liable to pay taxes, but 99% of the minor incomes become taxable in the hands of guardians or the parents. Guardians or parents. 99% is not a defined number. I'm just giving an example. Yes, basically what income tax tells is, tell me whatever incomes the minor has. Tell me whatever incomes the minor has. If it is an income which minor earned based on his skills, he will pay tax on it. He will pay tax on it. If it's an income which is not coming based on his skills, then it will be taxable in the name of parents. It will be taxable in the name of parents. So examples like KBC Junior and all will become taxable in the name of minor. Because KBC Junior, he's putting efforts. But if the minor goes for a lottery winning, he goes and puts money in lottery and gets money out of it. There is no skill there. Those will be taxable in the name of parents. Running a business depends on whether the minor is running the business or the father is just putting his name on it. If the minor is running the business alone, then it is in his hands taxable. But if the minor is not earning the income on his own, but rather is using the name of the father, then it is parents whose income is taxable. Yes or no? Yes, you would have seen this Instagram reels and all, no, the network marketing. Yes, I'll go to 3 more people and recommend him. He will recommend 3 more people. He will recommend 3 more people. Those are all marketing skills. Those will be taxable in the name of minors. Those will be taxable in the name of minor, because minor is the one who's earning things there. Yes or no? Yes. Doing computer skills, making softwares, selling items and all those things, those will be taxable in their names. But if they come to a point where they are not the ones putting efforts and the parents are putting efforts, but Suma using their name, that is taxable in the name of parents. That is taxable in the name of parents. Yes or no? Yes. Further discussion on minor child, we'll have a separate chapter itself. We'll discuss it in there. We'll discuss there. Yes or no? Yes or no? That brings me forward, people, to the next category of people called as full form is. This is basically me coming and telling that a group of family members have come together and running a business. In that case, they will not be taxable in their capacity. They will be taxable in HUF's capacity. Yes, this would be a separate person than you. Meaning what you earn yourself will be taxable in your names, but what is earned by the HUF will be taxable in HUF's name. It will not be taxable in your names. It will not be taxable in your names. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Simple, straightforward question. How do you create a HUF? What is the minimum requirement to have an HUF? पुश्तैनी जमीन जरूरी है, नहीं हुआ तो HUF नहीं बन सकता. Define family. Don't use jargons you cannot justify. Three generations. मिनिमम 2 होने चाहिए. मतलब मेरा बेटा है तो ही HF, वरना नो HF. She is telling 2 generations. Now wife is not generation, she is better half. People, simple question. I want to go to income tax department and come and say I want to create an HUF. What is the basic requirement income tax will ask you to come and show for you to create a HUF? How many minimum people you need in the family to create an HUF? 10, no? 2. 2 is con 2. Any co-partner. So it's like me and my brother decided to open HF. खून का ही रिश्ता है. People, can me and my brother just like that go and open an HF? See, here's the problem. When you say ancestors property, I don't understand. Do you want me to have a house, or is it okay if my माँ का एक चूड़ी भी पड़ा है? What do you mean ancestors property? I don't understand. क्या कर रहे हैं वो लोग? Simple question, people. Can you come and create an HF with just you and your brother? No. You need some people to be minimum there. What is the minimum number of people you need, and who is that? Define 4. Who and all? Two generations. मतलब तू और तुम्हारा बेटा. हाँ, तो जब बेटा होना जरूरी है, नहीं होता HF नहीं बनेगा. Then in that case father will become HF. No, I'm talking in your name. Hey, you want HF in your name, people. If you want HF in your name, what is the minimum requirement you should have? शादी के बाद या शादी से पहले? नहीं, कंफर्म कर रहा हूं. लड़की के बिना बच्चा हो गया चलेगा? मेरे को लड़की पसंद नहीं है, लड़का अच्छा था. नहीं, बच्चे की बात कर रहा हूं. बच्चे की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. गंदे लोग. मैं बोल रहा हूं नीचे सोच है तुम्हारी, पता नहीं. Me and my son. Wife not important. No, that's the question. So if at all I have a spouse and I'm not able to deliver a child for medical reasons, can I create an HF? Not create an HF. So son is not important. Generation is not important. खून का रिश्ता जरूरी है. You should be? Which family?
Your family.
People, I am asking you a question. You want to create an HF. For you to create an HF, what is your requirements? You should be the? पोता होना. यहाँ बच्चा नहीं हो रहा था, पोता चाहिए तुम्हें. मेरे को बच्चा ही नहीं हो रहा, पोता कहां से हो जाएगा? I am a तो क्या चल रहा है? People, to create an HUF, there is only one requirement: you should be married. Okay? Full stop. For an HUF to be created, there should be two people. One is assessee, one is spouse. Full stop. Khatam. Yes, no other requirement is required. No other requirement is required. Every other person who becomes a part of HUF does not create the basic for requirement to create an HUF. They are a part of the HUF. Yes, the basic requirement to create an HUF is to be getting married. Yes, if you can come and tell that I have got married to a person and we both have jointly opened a business, that is a HUF. That is an HUF. Good enough for you to go to income tax department and get a certificate for HUF. Yes, you can go to income tax department, submit your marriage certificate. Income tax department will say, okay, great, you are now an HUF. Rahul is the karta of the house. Rahul is the karta of the house. No other requirement is mandatory here. Yes, you may call ancestral property, do generation, teen generation. Property is a vague term. Yes, I can call property as one ring sitting at home, my home also. Yes, there is no ancestral word there. Yes, so there is no ancestral property requirement per se, and there is definitely no requirement to have a kid. Yes, because yeah, medically sometimes things go difficult also, right? So basic requirement, two people should get married. That's what the requirement is. You can create an HUF. You can create an HUF. Clear enough? Yes. Now I want to understand who and all can become the member of the HUF. Who and all can become the member of the HUF. People understand. I'm going to give out examples. You're going to tell me whether the person is a part of HUF or not an HUF. Yes, two people I already told, A and spouse. A is karta, spouse is HUF member. Spouse is HUF member. A and spouse gave birth to a son. Member, not member. Gave birth to a daughter. Member. Son married to a girl. Daughter married to a guy. क्या हो गया? क्या रिश्ता हो गया? Member, not member. लड़की पराया धन होती है. वो घर में आ गई ना, वो पराया होके घर आ गई. See, they are telling me, मैंने बता, वो बता. See, घर जमाई बन जाओ बोल रही है. किसकी बेटी किसकी? Okay, feminism is going different. let's go about Indian mythology later on. Yes, wife's husband. Legally not allowed. Legally not allowed. They are assumed to be part of a different family. Yes, the moment the wife goes to the husband's house, she becomes a part of her family, his family. She becomes a part of his family. Same as how the wife of the son becomes a part of this family, she becomes a part of that family. Yes. Now, this is what Indian law says. I don't know whether it's right or not. Don't come and bounce on me.
After marriage, does she have any right?
She has rights. Definitely she does. Yes. People, wife and son ka son. Wife and son ka daughter. Daughter and husband ka son. When the daughter has moved to the other house, the son is also part of the other house, not required as a member. Yes, same way works for daughter also. Same way works for daughter also. Yes or no? Yes. People, spouse or a brother, spouse or a sister. Hey, Sali Adi Garwali. Okay, these are not part of the HUF bracket. In simple words, people, a member of the HUF becomes by birth or by bringing into the family. Either happens by birth or by bringing into the family. Bringing into the family would be the spouse and the son's wife. Yes, everyone else is the birth case. Everyone else is the birth case. Definitely, yes. No problems there. Yes, when it comes to associate and spouse, people, imagine if I feel both the son and daughter are useless and I decide to adopt a son. I decide to adopt a son. People, member, not member. Member. Adopted daughter. Again, same logic, people. HUF members are people who are born or are brought in. Adopted or also brought in. They may not be born into the family, but they are brought into the family, which is good enough as a criteria. कौन सी लड़की का भाई? कर्ता का भाई. He is not part of your HUF. He is a part of your father's HUF. Yes. Now here is the question, people. Imagine my father already has an HUF. I want to create a separate HUF. Allowed, not allowed? Allowed. As long as I get married, I can create a separate HUF than my father. In which case, I will be the Karta of my HUF and I'll be a co-parsoner in his HUF. Definitely. You're just a member of the family. Tomorrow, if I'm just being honest about it, God forbid if something happens to your father, the property of your father will move to you. That's what I'm saying. Tomorrow, if your father dies, the property will move to you. And if the property moves to you, technically you are now the Karta of the HUF of both the HUFs. In that case, you'll have to amalgamate both the HUFs. Spouse. Which spouse? Karta. हाँ, yes, definitely.
पापा का डेथ हो गया बट अभी भाई है तो उसको अमालगमेट नहीं करना है.
Partition of the HUF, split it off. You have to split off the HUF. You don't have an option. Yes. This is how you become an HUF member, people. Now, in your syllabus, you also have something called HUFs are of two types: Daya Bhaga, Mitakshara, and some nonsense and all. Yes, not important. If I have to just clarify to you, Daya Bhaga and Mitakshara are two schools of HUFs which we have in India. One is predominantly in West Bengal and Assam. The other is in other countries, other states. Yes, one of the HUF common says that if you are a member of the HUF, you do not get rights as it is. You only get rights when the father Karta dies. Whereas in the other HUF, they'll come and say you get rights right from the day when you are member of the HUF. Yes or no? Yes. What is the difference here? It's very simple. In West Bengal and Assam, they will come and say if the son decides to leave the house, he will leave alone. He will not get any property because he is still no having any co-parsoner rights. He still does not have any co-parsoner rights. All are with the Karta. But in other parts of the country, if you leave the house, you are eligible to take over some property of the family. Because you have co-parsoner rights right from the very start of it. Yes or no? Yes. That is what is the difference between both of them. As such, not important, but I'm just clarifying this to you. Any doubts on this? Kiska? The HUF is ceased to abolish unless and until they decide to continue the business along with their kids. Yes, meaning assuming you didn't have kids, there is only A and S, and now they decide to partition, then the HUF will have to shut down. No other options. Yes, then you cannot continue it forward. Yes, if you get a second marriage done, then maybe yeah, but otherwise. Wife? That's what he said. दोनों एक जिंदगी से चली गई ना, बात एक ही है. यस, हमारे लिए वो मर गए. Yes. Next one, people. A company is a company as defined under Company is Act. If you know that, that much enough. Yes, next. Full form नहीं मांगा, meaning मांगा. Two or more persons coming together with an intention to earn profits. Business is not the criteria. You can do profession also. Yes, two or more people coming together with an intention to earn profits, either acting together or individually carrying on the business for, you know the definition. Yes, that's the same thing. Next. Body of individuals.
Association of persons is for not profit making. Right?
Not necessarily profit making, but it can be for profit making also. Okay, what is AOP BOIs? Two or more people coming together with a common objective is an AOP or BOI. Yes. Now intention may be to make business or maybe to not make business. If they make a business and enter into a deed, that's called partnership. If they don't enter into a deed or it is done by a force of law, it is AOPs or BOIs. What is the difference between AOP and BOI? Very simple, people. Body of individual means group of individuals. So if only individuals are coming together, that's called body of individuals. But if you are also including other category of people like firms, companies, HUFs and all those things, then it becomes AOP. Then it becomes an AOP. Yes or no? Yes. All your charitable organizations, your trusts and everything form part of AOP BOIs. Form part of AOP BOIs because they don't come with an intention to make business and therefore they are not into firms. Yes. But that does not automatically mean that AOP BOI are only non-profit making. Even profit making AOP BOIs are also there. A simple straightforward example would be, people, the example which I gave for the lemonade stand. Yes, when I did the lemonade stand, I did not enter into an agreement. We did not agree amongst how much profits each one will take. We did not decide any model. We just came together and did something together. That's called BOI. One of the most classic examples, if I have to give to you, is your institute of ICI. Is your institute of ICI. The moment you qualify, you become a member of the institute. And you are as good as a trustee of the institute. Meaning you have the power as if you own the institute. Just that they don't give you any powers. Yes, but as such, as part of the register of members, you are also a member added there, and you are like the trustee of the institute. You are now group of individuals coming together in a ICI model, which is body of individuals, So ICI, ICSI, ICWAI, whatever institutes you have are all body of individuals. Make sense? Yes. Moving on forward.
Local authority.
What is a local authority? All your municipalities, people. Yes, which means this is now coming and clarifying even state government pays income tax, but they pay to central government. This is a clarification where they're coming and saying if a local authority earns income other than the income which they should earn as a state government, from a state government, that is all taxable. For a simple example, people, if you have a municipality and the municipality is collecting property tax from you, this is done as per state laws and therefore this is exempt. But if they take this property tax and put it in a bank and earn interest, that is because that is not state laws. That will become taxable. Yes or no? Yes. That is what the ideology is. Local authorities are also taxable under income tax. They are not exempt. State government also pays tax to central government. No one. Why will central pay to someone? Central government keeps the money as their revenue and uses it for the budget to build roads, give it to armies and all those things. Yeah. Yes. This is basically state's revenue or central's revenue. Yeah. Last item, people. LLP is a body corporate. It's not AJP. Con? A person which is created by a force of law. The most classic example would be liquidators. People, when a company gets liquidated, NCLT will appoint a liquidator. Now, if the liquidator is going to take over the assets of the company and sell it off, it's obviously not selling in the name of company. He is not selling it in his personal name also, which means he's not selling it in individual capacity. He's not selling it in company capacity. The only option left is as an artificial juridical person. He will now buy a new PAN number in the name of AJP and he will sell all the property in the name of AJP, make profits as AJP and pay taxes on it accordingly. He cannot tax it in his personal name. That is not how it is done because he is just a liquidator appointed by the courts, which means juridical body has appointed this and therefore this is how it will work out. Clear? Any doubts? Good to go? Oh, it's only 12. Why are we going so slow? I thought the class is getting over. Let's take 5. All right. Okay, I think we are now done with what is called as good enough. Yes. So we're done with what is called as person people. We are left with the balance items. We have something called total income. We have previous year. We have assessable, and we have assessment year. Yes. Yes. This is what the balance words which are pending for our discussion. Yes. Now, before I do this itself, let me also take a step back and complete a few things which we have kept pending. Yes. Now, if you remember, when we did our law, we spoke about some items we called act, rules, circulars, notification. Very good. Now, you and I both drafted what is called as act and rules. We have not drafted what is called as notifications. And now, case laws, you and I both know, nothing to discuss. Yes, case laws are basically, if you have a dispute going on, you can approach the courts. You can approach the courts, and courts will take a decision on this. Yes, be mindful about one thing, people. When it comes to the courts, courts are merely a law interpreter. Courts are merely a law interpreter. They cannot make laws. They cannot make laws. Their job is to look at a law and come and give a decision on how the law should be read. Give a decision on how the law should be read. At any point of time, if they start making laws, then it becomes an issue. It becomes an issue. Then they take the role of a parliament, which should not be done. Yes or no? Yes. Under income tax, people, when it comes to case laws, the following are the people who are responsible in judicial body. The following are the people who are responsible in judicial body. We have the first person called as CIT capital A. We have the first person called as CIT capital A. IT you already know. Income tax. C means commissioner of income tax. C means commissioner of income tax, and A stands for appeals. Yes. So the first person when you are not feeling good is you go to commissioner of income tax appeals. You go to him and you come and tell, sir, your junior is not doing a good job. Your junior is not doing a good job. The income tax department is causing problems in my life. Can you go and correct it? Can you go and correct it? So the first person to complain, commissioner of income tax appeals. Commissioner of income tax appeals. Assuming commissioner of income tax gives a decision which is not in your favor, you move to the next person called as ITAT. You move to the next person called as ITAT. This is something similar to your NCLT. We are looking at income tax appellate tribunal. We are looking at income tax appellate tribunal, a special quasi-judicial body created under income tax to handle income tax disputes. We don't go to district court and all those things. We handle all income tax related disputes under income tax appellate tribunals. Income tax appellate tribunal. Yes or no? Yes. The model of income tax appellate tribunal similar to High Court. Two people standing saying, my lord, this is what is to happen, that is to be happening, this person is not doing justice and all those things, my lord, everything happens. Yes. Same model as income tax tribunal. The only thing is it is a very small body as compared to other courts. Yes or no? Yes. If you are not happy with ITAT, now you have to go to the normal routes. You move on to someone called as High Court. And if you are not happy with High Court, you have no other options but to move to, this is your hierarchical appeal stage. Yes or no? Yes. Now, as much as you people would already understand, if Supreme Court passes a judgment, it applies to the whole of India. Yes, we call it as the law of the land. Supreme Court passing something becomes a law of the land. It becomes a final judgment. Which means if Supreme Court interprets something which is not there in the act, it is assumed that now it is a part of act. Yes or no? Yes. High Court applies to respective states. ITAT also applies to respective states. Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals applies to your jurisdiction. Meaning in India itself, in Chennai for example, there are 19 CIT appeals. 19 people have been appointed for you to take care of appeals. Now why 19 people? Because obviously you look at Chennai, there are multiple people here. So what happens, for every letter you have, there is a different commissioner. ABC will be given Commissioner Appeals 1. DEF will be given 2. For examples are like that. Yes or no? Yes. So therefore, if Commissioner 5 passes an order, whoever is sitting in the Commissioner 5 will have the same case pending. Commissioner 6 will not come and say, I will follow Commissioner 5. Commissioner 5 will follow whatever Commissioner 5 wants, and that will apply to every person who is under Commissioner 5. If ITAT passes a judgment, ITAT will now apply to the whole state, which means now every commissioner will have to follow it. If High Court passes a judgment, it will also apply to respective ITATs and respective commissioners and respective assessees. And if Supreme Court passes judgment, everyone will follow this. Everyone will follow this. Yes or no? Yes or no? Quick question, people. Is Act superior or Supreme Court superior? It is both. It is both. It happens at equal intervals, people. I told you Supreme Court is a law interpreter. Supreme Court is a law interpreter, which means Supreme Court has been given a responsibility to interpret the law and pass a judgment. Which means if the law is vague and if Supreme Court passes a judgment, Supreme Court's decision becomes valid. Supreme Court's decision becomes valid. Now Supreme Court becomes a higher power. Tomorrow, if the income tax department is not happy, what can income tax department do? They can change the law itself. And the moment they change the law, Supreme Court decision becomes invalid. So until the law gets amended, Supreme Court is superior. The moment the law gets amended, law becomes superior. Law becomes superior. So there is no right answer to this, people. It all depends on if the law is still the same or if the law is changing. The law is changing. Yes or no? Yes. So they normally come and say that any decision passed by the courts are applicable as long as the law is not changed. Yes or no? Yes. So there is no right answer to the Supreme Court is definitely superior one as long as the law is not modified. Yes. And this is one thing which you will see in my subject ever happening. Yes. Every time I give you a story, I'll Summa come and tell you that this is what the law was, because of which we were doing this and we were saving taxes. When we filed an appeal, court also said, yes, you're doing right. Later on, income tax said, no, who are you to come and say I will change the law? And therefore today law reads differently, which means now Supreme Court decision is not valid. Now Supreme Court decision is not valid. Yes or no? Yes. But that does not take the power away from Supreme Court. As long as the decision has not been overruled, the decision still stands. And to that extent, it will be applicable. To that extent, it will be applicable. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. One good news for you, case laws are not part of syllabus. Case laws are not part of syllabus. It is not part of your inter-syllabus. In finals, you learn almost about 150 case laws with me. Yes, you'll have another 100. You learn almost about 150 case laws with me. Every topic we discuss, ICA would have notified a certain case law and they would have come and told this is what the decision looks like. This is also something to be remembered from exam perspective. So you'll be learning another 150 case laws along with me in your final level syllabus. Yes, finals is a fun thing. Yes, finals has a different game of fun only. Yes, extraordinary syllabus, extraordinary topics. There are 4 modules just for 100 marks. Yes, you have 2 modules right now. You have 4 modules here. You have 4 modules just for 100 marks with case laws, with interpretations, with foreign taxes, with foreign laws to be read, and then too much theory. 520. Yes. So it's, yeah, finals is a different fun, and it comes with a kind of excitement because you people have also come from articleship. So you also know something. Yes, but everything you know is wrong. Because ICA does not work on that logic. ICA does not want practical knowledge. ICA want what he wants. ICA want what he wants. So what we do in the classes, when we discuss in the class, you will come and tell me, Rahul, I did this in my articleship. This is what the answer is. And I'll tell you, yeah, but ICA does not agree. So therefore, you will come to the class and you will forget everything which you did, and then you'll start over again. So that's a fun altogether. Yes, that's a different level of fun to come start with. Yes, let's answer that thing when we cross the river. Yes, right now let's focus on inter syllabus. Yes or no? Yes, this is what your case law looks like, people. Any doubts on the case laws? No, good. Anyway, not applicable, so therefore you can ignore it and go. Just be mindful about the fact that when it comes to case laws are law interpreters. This is also part of the law, because technically if nothing is defined in the law, then this helps you answer the question. This helps you answer the question. Any doubts on this? No, great. We have 2 more items, people, which is called as and. Great. Does anyone know what these 2 are? वो चॉकलेट होता है ना? What? Amendment? What is Act doing then? If you are informing amendments in circulars, then what is Act doing? Act ही तो amendment कर रहा है. Petty information. मतलब? तो इंग्लिश में बोल दिया तो मेरे समझ में आ गया. People, what is circulars and notifications? One thing I've already clarified to you, circulars and notifications are issued by CBDT. Yes, the board is approving the circulars and notifications. Now, what exactly does board want to give you? Okay, let's start with this. Are the two words same or different? Different. Okay, what is the difference? What? If they're same, tell me what do they do? CA पढ़ना था तुम्हें. फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट. तुम यहाँ से तो ले लोगे, ऐसे से क्या करोगे? ओ, सीए करना था, फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, रैंक वगैरह चाहिए. ये तो अभी तुम सब्जेक्ट में घुसे भी नहीं हो, बेसिक्स पढ़ रहे हो. बेसिक्स में हिल गए तुम, सब्जेक्ट तो कब जाओगे? यस पीपल, सेम वर्ड डिफरेंट वर्ड?
Same word.
It's a different word. It's a different word. What is the difference between the two is the question now. Circular will have deadlines. Matlab they'll tell you when to do it. Notification tell you when to start doing it. So it's like if you're on the race, starting point is notification and ending point is circular. No, I'm trying to find an answer which is not vulgar. नहीं चलेगा, YouTube चल रहा है. Let me try this. I'll give you a simple example, people. Imagine if I'm drawing a drawing. Yes. This is a drawing, some drawing, people, some drawing. Yes. Now, open discussion, open room discussion. I want to know, what do you think this looks like as per your head? Apple juice. What is apple in this? Oh, the blue lagoon thing. The blue lagoon. With the straw. People, I want your interpretations. You don't worry about what others are thinking. Red glass, huh? Alone, red glass alone, or something else is there? Only red glass, nothing inside. Okay, I want to know what is inside.
The dark blue straw.
लिक्विड है. क्या लिक्विड है? सोडा.
Flavor.
Chemical. Okay. Okay. Next. Anything else? That's it. Is anyone else thinking? Water. Okay. That's it. Yes. Now, imagine an example. I'm moving away from direct tax. Imagine I'm a GST officer. Yes. It so happened that you people have joined me and you're going to create a business. You're going to create a business in which you're going to start selling this. Yes. Now, you started a business in Chennai. I am right now sitting in Chennai. And I'm your officer. Yes. Now, you create this item. But the problem is you don't know what is the GST rate on this. So, therefore, what will you do? You'll reach out to me and you'll come and ask me, sir, tell me what is the GST rate. Yes. Now, I have an option. I'm looking at the item. and I think it is water. I think it is water. So I come and tell boss this is water, and water is exempt from GST. So therefore no GST to be charged. You can sell your product. You can sell your product. Now you're extremely happy because you don't have a cost. Your cost is saved. So therefore you started manufacturing and started selling it off. Almost about 2 to 3 months later, you have made huge money, and so you decide to expand. Move to other states. Imagine you went from Chennai, you went to Goa, and you started creating a factory there. When you were creating a factory there, you started selling this product with no GST. Goa officer sends you a notice, looks at the notice, and he comes and says you have not paid your GST, therefore you're liable to go to jail. You are now surprised. What exactly happened? Yes, so you went and approached the GST officer. The GST officer looked at the document, looked at this and came and said, boss, this looks like a blue lagoon with a blue straw. This is a luxurious product which you'll use in parties and everything, and therefore you should charge 18% GST on this. You should charge? Sorry? Why? Luxurious is like luxurious, that's 28. Party items are still not luxurious. Yes, so it's 18% GST on this. Yes, so he asked you to charge 18% GST and he's put a penalty on you. Now somewhere what happened is you decided, boss, this is not working out because Goa is charging 18. So you decided to change your factory. You moved to Mumbai. When you went to Mumbai, you tried to sell the product. Again a notice came to you. This time the notice is coming and saying pay penalty of 50 lakhs. Now you are like surprised what happened. When you went to the officer of Mumbai officer comes and says, I look at the item, it looks like chemicals, which is 5% GST. You have paid nothing, therefore demand. You move from Mumbai also, and you came down to, let's say, another state, maybe Karnataka. That time when you started selling, the person came and said, looks like soda used for alcohol, and therefore exempt from GST. But you have to pay excise duty. You made one product, 4 different states. Everyone thinks different things. Product is the. Can you run business? What do you think is the best way here? What do you think is the best course of solution here? Stop selling. Then you would want a clarification on what it is. Yes. Now ask yourself a simple question. Is the problem with you or is the problem with the officers? The problem is with the officers. Yes. They are not talking to each other, and therefore they are thinking differently. When you are not happy, what would you do? You will go and approach their bosses. Who is the boss of them? Who is the boss of everyone, ma? I am in GST department. The boss of GSTs are CB, IC. Yes or no? Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs. We discussed yesterday. Yes or no? Yes. So what will I do, people? I will now write a complaint to CBIC and come and say your juniors working in different states are causing problem to me. They are not letting me work properly. Everyone thinks differently. I am not able to work properly. Do one thing. What? Clarify your juniors. What exactly is the product? Clarify your juniors what exactly is the product. Now what will CBIC do? CBIC will put a document, send it across to all the people in his department, informing them what the product is. Hey, tomorrow after this clarification has come, if I go and work in Goa and Mumbai and Karnataka and Chennai, everyone will talk the same language. Because their boss has come and told this is what it is. This is what? Agreed, not agreed? Agreed, not agreed? People, when you go to your schools and all, yes, when you will be sitting in your class, suddenly one peon will come, go to your teacher and come and say one paper. Yes, and they'll give a register, they'll say sign this document, ma'am. Yes, this is a document which you will never be able to see because you don't know what inside is. When you try to ask a ma'am will come and say this is for the teachers alone, not for you. Meaning the head of the school, the principal, has issued a document for the teachers, circulating internally. Should be called as Circulars should be called as circulars. Circulars are basically a document given by CBDT to its income tax department members, clarifying what the position is. In my example, the product is the answer, but this can clarify what the position is. Yes, income tax will have different options. Yes, I may have an issue going on, I don't know what the answer is. Every officer is talking differently. CBDT will issue a circular and come and inform the department people saying this is what it is. This is what it is. Going forward, follow it. Going forward, follow it. Who are they informing? Income tax department members. Yes or no? Yes. Now simple question, people. Imagine what happened is I went to CBIC, I put a complaint saying, sir, please issue clarification to all your members what the product is. Yes. Now two things can happen. Either the person will be as nice as a Chennai officer and would call it water, or he'll be as cranky as Mumbai officer, as cranky as Goa officer and call it Blue Lagoon. Anything can happen, because the persons who are sitting here only will go to department later on. Yes or no? They will only become the bosses later on. Yes. Now imagine what has happened is the person has called it water. Now everyone is talking water. I also wanted water, which means GST has become 0. Good for me, bad for me. Will I say no to it? No. I will come and say what? Yes, it is water. Department also will say it is. Everything worked. Everything worked. Yes or no? Yes. Now if I went to CBIC, I went and raised a complaint. The guy said no, it is Blue Lagoon 18%. Happy, not happy? Will I agree? What will I do? I will go and इसके ऊपर इसको complain करूँ. I have told, that's why he told 18%. I did not tell him Blue Lagoon. I showed him the product. I told you decide what it is. Now what to do, people? Question to you very simple. Now the Blue Lagoon has been decided by the boss. Juniors are going to follow, not follow. Can juniors come and say, no, I want to make it water? No, which means juniors ke liye this is binding. Juniors ke liye this is binding. For me, is it binding? No, because I may come and say, boss, you are not looking at it properly. But the problem is I cannot go and complain to anyone beyond CBIC. The only way is to go for an appeal. The only way is to go for an appeal. In simple words, people, just because CBIC says this is the answer, does it mean it applies to me? It only applies to internal departments. It only applies to internal departments. Yes or no? Yes. Hey, in simple words, circulars are for department members, binding on, not binding on general public, not binding on general public. But if the general public finds it beneficial for him, then general public can agree to. General public can agree to it, because anyway department is going to follow. Agreed. Yes or no? Yes. So circulars are basically internal documents given between the department to handle it themselves. This is for their interpretations, not for me. If I want, I can use it. If I choose not to use it, I can file a appeal for it. Make sense? People, same school when you're sitting. Once the period gets over, ring happens, you go and outside there is a big thing called notice board, where they'll come and say, from tomorrow, PT periods are all cancelled. Maths is going to start. If you see the document, on the top, there'll be one heading. It'll be called as notice. Or it'll be called as notifications. Notifications are basically those documents which are issued for you to give anything which the board wants to tell, which should apply to everyone. People, when notification is passed, teacher is also going to look at it. You are also going to look at it. Can maths ma'am come and say, no, I don't want to follow? Can PT period come and say, no, I want PT? No. You also have to follow, they also have to follow. Binding on. Can you say no to this? People, notifications are basically those documents issued by CBDT which are binding on department and public. Yes or no? What happens in notifications? They'll come and give you notifications of items. For example, if I go and apply an application, yes, where I go to CBDT and I come and say, sir, I am actually the kind of person who's doing only NGO work. No intention to make profits. Can you please exempt me from taxes? Possible, not possible? Possible, not possible? Possible. Now, if I have been exempted from taxes, should I alone be aware about it, or everyone who's doing with me also should be aware about it? In that case, department will issue a because everyone has to be informed. So therefore, they will issue a notification. They will inform a general public notification saying, going forward, Rahul Society Foundation should not be paying taxes in India. And so therefore, when you do transactions with Rahul, do not deduct TDS. Do not deduct TDS. Hey, if department wants to tell that to public for me, department will issue a correct, not correct? Correct, not correct? Yes or no? Similar question, people. When you look at rules, who creates rules? Same CBDT create rules. Same CBDT create rule. People, now the rule comes and says you need to make the application within 30 days. Is the rule informing public, department, or both? Both. It is informing both, which means if a rule has to be changed, it will be changed by, which means notifications are also used for amending rules. Notifications are also used for amending rules or for introducing rules also, because the idea is the same. Yes, you will come and ask me, Rahul, how will a rule get created? Obviously, rule will get created by issuing a notification. How else will you create a rule? Because you're not going to go through parliament route. Yes or no? So CBDT will pass a notification in which the CBDT person will sign saying that I am issuing a notification for making a rule. Go and publish it in official gazette and make it applicable for whole of India. Make it applicable for whole of India. Agreed, not agreed? Yes. People, in simple words, which is binding on department? Read my question once again. Which is binding on department? Both are binding on department. Which is binding only on department? And you people think 30 marks MCQ is easy. This is what MCQ question is. Yes, people, which one is binding on department? Both are binding on department. Circular also needs to be used by department and notification also needs to be used by department. But what is binding only on department? That is circulars, because notification is binding on both. But circular is not binding on public. Circular is not binding on public. Agreed, not agreed? Yes or no? Yes, yes. MCQ questions for you people, nothing else. Yes, they will Suma come and ask you what is binding on public? What is binding on department? Now you get it. Clear? Makes sense? Makes sense. Yes, be mindful about these kind of things also, people. Yes, this is what is called as your circulars. And any doubts till here? Great. Last thing, I'm closing with that. We are looking at the last item, people. What is your charging section? We discussed about what is called as person. Yes, let me open the secret for you. Why exactly is it 1961 versus 1960? People, I'm reading at two words. One word is called as assessment year and one word is called as previous year. Simple, straightforward question to you. You are today in November. Today you have earned, let's say, 1 crore rupees income. You will pay tax tomorrow. You will pay tax tomorrow. No. Day after tomorrow. Month end. December. People, this is an income. What you earn right now is 1 crore of revenue. You need to find out the expense. To make income. Yes, expense will happen today. Could happen yesterday also. Can happen tomorrow also. We need to put a cutoff. Cutoff will decide what your income is. Correct? No. Yes or no? Yes. Cutoff is end of the financial year. Which means whatever income you earned by the end of the financial year, you need to pay tax. When? People, let's assume my financial year is on 31st March. 31st March, you know your income. You'll pay tax on 31st March. Because 31st March, you found your income. I want to know what your tax is. So, which means I need to find my tax. Will I find it on 30th March? 31st March? After 31st March? So, I'll find it in after 31st March. Hey, after 31st March, I am going to look at my income. I'm going to look at my income. I'm going to assess my income. After 31st March, I'm going to look at my income. I'm going to assess my income in order to find what my, which means the year in which I assess my income is called. The year in which I assess my income is called assessment year. Correct, not correct? The year in which I assess my income is called assessment year, which is not this year, which is next year. Which is next year. Which is next. Which means whatever income I'm earning in this financial year, 24-25, assessment year will be. Correct, not correct? Yes. Now I'm in 25-26, assessing my income of the 24-25, which is the question. My income tax came in 1961. My income tax came in 1961 for financial year 61-62, which means I earned income in 61-62. I assessed income in. Income tax is interested about income or tax, which means he is more interested about 62-63 or 61-62. Which means when income tax is reading the law, income tax is reading it from assessment year. Assessment year 60. Assessment year 62-63, which means it is coming with effect from 1st April for income earned in. Which means law is from 61 for income of 61, but assessed in 60. Therefore, we are looking at. Correct. People, Finance Act 24 is coming for financial year 24-25 for assessment year. Therefore, with effect from. Ab samjha. Now is why rules are 62, because all language is written in assessment year format. All language is written in assessment year format. Just because you see a date does not mean it comes from that date. The date is coming and clarifying. I'm looking at it from that date for data of previous year. So for your exam, people, you are writing exam for assessment year 25-26 for the previous year 24-25, which means whatever income you earn in 24-25 will be called previous year 24-25, for which you will compute a tax in assessment year. And now because you're writing exam in 25-26 in financial year terms, you're writing May, September and Jan, that time you will be knowing what is the income tax on, which is why you are reading Finance Act. Which is why you are reading Finance Act 24. Correct? Makes sense? Yes. So previous year and assessment year basically means previous year is the year in which you earn income. Assessment year is the year in which you assess your income. I am discussing income tax from assessment year perspective. I am discussing income tax from assessment year perspective. For your exam, assessment year is previous year is. Makes sense. Yes. Makes sense. Any doubts? No. Question puchu. Question. Simple question before I leave for the day. Yes. I'm going to write English. You're going to tell me whether the English is correct or not. Yes. Kya hua? People, English. Question, is this English correct or not correct? Correct. नेक्स्ट ईयर के लिए प्रीवियस ईयर करंट प्रीवियस ईयर नहीं हुआ. सॉरी तुम्हें तो सब समझ में आ गया था. People current previous year. Correct है, क्या correct है इसमें? Explain. Try again. Okay. ठीक है, तो दोनों साल सेम 13 हुआ, दोनों अलग अलग साल हुआ, तो वो करंट प्रीवियस ईयर कैसे हुआ? फिर वो करंट ईयर अलग हो गया, प्रीवियस ईयर अलग हो गया।
इस साल के लिए प्रीवियस ईयर
for 24 25 23 24 is previous year. That is not current previous year. People, current previous year means I'm looking at 1 year, which is current also, previous also. तो वो असेसमेंट हो रहा है, प्रीवियस थोड़ी ना हुआ। People looks oxymoron. There is a current year also, there is a previous year also. Either it is current year or previous year. People, the fun is, this is correct. I'll give you a simple example. You are today earning income, which means you are in the current year. But your current year is the previous year for the next year. You are in the current year, earning income for the previous year, 24-25, which is going to be assessed in 20, which means currently you are earning income for the previous year, 24-25. Agreed, not agreed? You are in the current year earning income for the previous year, 24-25. So which means as you go, you are in the current previous year. Yes or no? Yes or no? Which means today you are in current previous year. Next year will be called as your assessment year. Next year will be called as your assessment year. Hey, also to understand, this year is the assessment year for the previous year. This is your previous year, so previous year. Correct, no? See, you are in current previous year for assessment year 25-26. You are also in the assessment year for previous year 23-24. Because this is your previous year. Uska previous year is 23-24. Settled. Any issues here? Makes sense. This is what is your previous year and assessment year. This is what is your previous year and assessment year. Clear enough? Yes. So for you, every previous year is an assessment year, and every assessment year was once a previous year. No. Every previous year was once an assessment year, and assessment year will become a previous year. Make sense? Yes. So if you go to someone tomorrow and come and tell whether current previous year is the right word, answer is yes. Yes. As a CA, this is the first thing you should do outside. Yes. You should go to outside person and come and say, I am in current previous year. See, if he understood, then he knows CA. If he does not understand, you should say, I am talking beyond your intellect. Correct or not? This is how Shairi works, people. This is how Shairi works. If you understand, then world is clear. If you don't understand, it means the person has spoken things which you don't understand. At the end of the day, the person is right. Agreed, not agreed? Yes or no? Yes. So the first thing which you go outside from today, you have to come and tell the world, I have learned something now. I have learned to be in the current previous year. I have learned to be in the current previous year. Are you in the current year or previous year? I'm in both. Correct, not correct? Yes. Try with your friends. Try with your friends. Go to foundation and tell them, inter mein we will learn what is current previous year. Correct, correct, correct. This is your learning for today, people. This is your learning for today. You are going to take this back home and you're going to talk to your parents. You're going to talk to your parents. You're going to tell your parents. You're going to tell your parents, Aaj we learned something in CA. We learned how to be in the current year, but also in the previous year. Yes, we are at two places at one time. We are at two places in the one time. Try with your family members. Try with them. Try with them. Yes, that is where the beauty of the income tax is, people, where you are standing in a current year but talking about the next year. Because you are technically in the current year earning income for your assessment years. You are earning income for the current assessment years, whereas in the current year also you are assessing income for the previous year. For the previous year. Correct, not correct? Yes or no? Yes, yes. I'm going to conclude with this for today, people. We're going to come back tomorrow and now start the subject. We have a class tomorrow, Thursday, right? We have a 10 to 1 class. Yes, we're going to come back tomorrow at 10 to 1, people, and now I'm going to get into the subject. Yes, we are done with the basics to a certain extent. To a certain extent. Definite. You have 5 words, right? We have only completed 2. So I have 3 more words to discuss. We'll complete those 3 words. Tomorrow's class, you'll be done with basics. Yes. For those who did not realize, by the time we have now concluded, we are done with chapter 1. We're done with chapter 1. If I complete the 3 words for you, chapter 1 is over. Nothing else is pending. Yes. Over the stories, you have technically completed the whole chapter. Where you were thinking we are just doing stories. Chapter is also done parallelly. Tomorrow's class, chapter 1 will get over. Yes. Next week, we'll be having full day classes. Yes. Next week, I think Jitu is traveling. And therefore, I am assuming audit is going to start for you. Yes. So audit and tax is going to play along. One day you'll have audit, one day you'll have taxes. Yes. That is how we'll be playing along. From next week, we are going to start doing sums. We're going to start computing what is called as taxes. This week you'll get it. Yes, we're going to start computing what is called as taxes from next class. And for those who are feeling excited about that, when you get to chapter number 2, you'll ask chapter number 1 was easier. Yes, so sums looks interesting in tax, but to do a sum takes a lot of efforts. Yes, for every one thing you'll do, I'll tell you 2 more things are wrong. Okay, so when you go to chapter number 2, you'll realize chapter number 1 was easier. When you go to chapter 3, then you'll come and say chapter 2 hi kar lete. Right? So we are growing a level. I'm going to make things difficult right now, and then everything else will become easier. Yes, so when you're sitting in 12th standard is tough. When you're going to foundation, 12th has become easy. You're upgrading. Yes, so upgrades is what is going to happen from next week. Okay, so let's see how much you tackle next week off properly. Okay, yes, great. Thank you, people. Have a good day.